You recording?
No.
Oh yeah. So let's talk trash about Caleb.
Okay. Welcome to Between the Cushions, episode 7. And it is time for Christmas football. Christmas Day. Got the Saints, got the Vikings. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, we do have a game on Christmas.
Oh yeah. It's gonna happen on a Friday. Which means that there will be an NFL game played on every day of the week this year.
Let's go.
What a strange year. Alright, you got Between the Cushions on Couch Football with Luke and Ryan.
What's up?
And we'll go ahead and check in on the news team.
News team, assemble!
Okay, Nick Mullins is out for the season with an elbow injury. CJ Beathard will start for the 49ers in Week 16, as Jimmy Garoppolo is still out. Anything to say?
Did I see that they were going to grab Josh Rosen for a backup?
I have not heard about that, but that'd be very interesting. Josh Rosen is currently on the practice squad for the Buccaneers.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Well, you can sign anyone off a practice squad, though. They're essentially free agents. So that's interesting. For instance, Lamar Miller just got signed off of the Bears practice squad, and he now is on the Washington football team roster. Chris McCaffrey is doubtful against Washington.
Josh Rosen. 49ers signed Josh Rosen and Jordan Matthews to the practice squad. San Francisco signing Josh Rosen to back up CJ Beathard. Sources say.
Interesting. That's an interesting signing. I'll say Rosen's he kind of gets a bad rep. He was put into two very unfortunate situations, and they expected him to thrive on it, and obviously it didn't work out. Okay, Christian McCaffrey is doubtful against Washington. That's not really that surprising anymore, is it?
Yeah, he's injured just about every week, so, can't count on him for fantasy, and then the Panthers can't count on him to even play. Would they start him if he... Well, I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but they don't have anything to play for now, do they?
They would still play him, dude. They gotta pay him all that money.
Yeah.
Okay. These news segments, they're often kind of dark. They're usually around injuries and stuff, so we want to end it on a lighter note this time. Lighter note for Bears fans, David Montgomery is 94 yards away from being a 1,000-yard rusher this year.
Nice.
Let's go.
What a surge he's had in the last couple of weeks. Doesn't make a ton of sense. Okay, we got a game preview this week. We've got the 10-4 Titans playing at the 11-3 Packers. This is the Sunday Night Football game. Ryan, you got any headline bulletin board material for this one?
Yeah, only that I think it's a must-win for the Titans. It's a very competitive wild card in the AFC, and actually the Titans could still win their division too. So, I think it's a must-win for the Titans.
Okay. Yeah, we will get into the wild card situation there. So we'll talk about the Colts a little bit, who are also competing for the NFC or AFC South division. So that'll be an interesting one. Do you have a score prediction on this one?
Oh, score prediction? Nah, I didn't think about it. Probably I'd go with 35 to 28. Actually, no. Let's go 24. 35 to 24. Packers over Titans.
Okay. I have a similar line. I've got 31-17 Packers. Which the Packers will stay in the 1 seed if they win this game. So,
yeah.
Well, also, it depends on what the Saints do. So,
yeah, I think they should. Titans, though, first in points per game, second in yards per game, rush yards per game as well. And they're first in time of possession, so they basically just run the clock out on you. However, what I thought was interesting is that they're 32nd in sacks, which means they're not getting to the quarterback, or they're not dropping the quarterback. And if you give Aaron Rodgers time, we'll see what happens, because the Packers are still third in points per game. So
we'll see what happens. Aaron Rodgers is currently, I think he's in terms of fantasy, is the QB2 on the season. That might have changed after this last week, because I have not checked it in a good week, but pretty sure he's number 2. Okay, we'll take a look through the fantasy window.
Fantasy window.
So for Green Bay, we've got your must-starts. We have A-Rod, Aaron Jones, who's questionable, Devontae Adams, and Robert Tonyan. Robert Tonyan is on the must-start list now, not because he is an exceptional talent, but because tight ends have kind of sucked this year, and you kind of have to fall on him, which is unfortunate, but he's got 10 TDs on the season, so what more can you say about it?
Yeah, and I think he's goosed maybe once. So he seems to get at least a couple
Sounds reasonable.
Couple targets, couple yards. So he's probably not going to get you 100 yards and 8 receptions, but he'll get you, 2 receptions for 40 yards or something.
Right. If you're playing Robert Tonyan, you are hoping for a touchdown, and that's about it. He's one of those situations, just like Jimmy Graham. If you're going to play Jimmy Graham, you're hoping for a touchdown.
If I really thought about it, he'll probably get 0 points this next week.
Because he's playing against you?
Maybe, possibly. But hey, who knows?
I think he's going to have another 3 TD game.
Oh, that would suck.
All right. So in terms of the non-must-starts, we've got Alan Lazard, who is also questionable, but he will most likely play. He was limited at practice. Would you play Alan Lazard in this matchup?
I'm debating whether to play him or not. Since the Titans don't get to the QB, I might feel fine playing him.
So Titans are 30th against opposing fantasy receivers.
Yeah. I mean, I picked him up in fantasy, matchup. So I'm debating between him and like Kiki QT. So
that's a tough call. I had Alan Lazard when he was on IR, just filling out my IR slot, but I had to drop him because of depth. And I just never saw a scenario where I was going to play him. So go to the number 3 receiver, which is MVS. Is MVS a playable option against the Titans, who are 30th?
I wouldn't play him.
Okay. Yeah, MVS, you're hoping for that big play, and that's about it. Jamal Williams, who is questionable, but Aaron Jones is also questionable.
Jones has been lighting it up these past couple weeks, and it seems like Williams' usage has lessened. So I don't know. I don't want to play Williams this week. I'd rather play Frank Gore over Jamal Williams. So
okay. So the Titans are 26th against opposing fantasy running backs. So really, their defense as a whole is not phenomenal. But if, like I said, Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams are both questionable, I think both of them are going to play, but if they do not, A.J. Dillon should be a big game-time pickup if you're looking for a flex play this week. So that'll probably do it for the Packers segment of this. We'll jump over to the other side of the ball. We got Tennessee. You got must-starts. A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry are the only 2 that I have listed as must-starts. Are there any other Titans that are really listed as must-starts?
Well, I mean, are we going fantasy-wise?
Oh yeah, we're going fantasy.
I mean, there's another receiver on the Titans that I might say is a must-start.
Isn't Corey Davis the best?
I mean, he
is the best.
First round of the playoffs, he didn't do jack squat, but then stepped it back up last week, and yeah, I think you have to start Davis.
Okay.
The numbers say you should, so.
He is consistent until you need him, and then he'll fail you. But I mean, he's been good all year, so it's hard to go against him. So we'll count him as a must start. So that will leave Ryan Tannehill. Are you willing to play him?
Oh yeah. Gee.
Packers are 9th against quarterbacks.
Ryan Tannehill is a freaking monster, though, or he has been these past couple.
Well, it is the Packers, though, and you can run on the Packers. So is this going to be a Derrick Henry game?
Oh, Tannehill will probably still get you some points. He probably won't do his 37 that he did last week, but he'll probably get you 20.
Probably better than anything you can grab on the waiver wire. Okay, so Giannu Smith will be the last one we're looking at.
Is it Smith or is it Frisker?
On the depth chart, it's Smith.
Who's the
in
next
number 1.
Smith's been in and out.
Number 2 is Jeff Swam. Swam?
Is there a third?
Yeah, Anthony Fursker is number
Fursker.
3.
I've seen him play a little bit. No, I don't want to play Smith.
Okay. Nicole Pruitt is number 4. They got a lot of tight ends. Okay, so we will go with not playing Johnny Smith. I wouldn't play him either. But I mean, if I were backed into a corner, I mean, it's been a tough year for tight ends. So
I'd rather roll the dice with Houston than play one from Tennessee. So
okay. Yeah. I think that's pretty much gonna do it for this fantasy window, and that'll pretty much wrap up this game. If you got anything else to throw in, shout it out now.
I'm not playing either defense.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I mean, we have pretty high score predictions. I wish I had the over-under right now, but I do not. But like I said, I think it's going to be 31-17.
I would think you would want a kicker in this matchup. I mean, they're not going to kick field goals, but I mean, they're going to kick a lot of get a lot of TDs. So
Okay. It's an interesting thought. I would take the field goals, personally, but
yeah, but there's a higher floor now since we're pretty sure both teams are going to score a couple TDs. So.
okay. We are going to go ahead and transition over to our analysis portion. Say it.
Analysis.
Alright, that's not what I wanted him to say, but
Analysis.
we'll go with it. The Jets lost the first overall pick in the 2021 draft to the Jags after they defeated the Rams 23-20. So Ryan, was this worth it? Was the win worth it?
I mean, they didn't get goosed on a season, so yeah, I would say it's worth it. I mean, only 3 or 4 teams have ever gone 0-16, so
The 08 Lions and the 2017 Browns.
yeah. So I would not want to be...
It's good company to be in,
No.
though.
You do not want to be included in that group. So I think that win is...
Worth losing the first overall pick, though.
Yeah, you get Lawrence, or Fields. I mean, is Lawrence all that? He might be.
I'll say that I am pretty high up on Fields. Just watching some Ohio State games this year, he looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
NFL comparison, it's kind of hard to come up with one. I would say like Cam Newton's early years. He kind of looks like Cam Newton back in 2015. Yeah, I would say it's not the end of the world to lose Trevor Lawrence. Like, is he good? Yes, we've been hearing about him since he was a junior in high school, but we'll see how he transitions into the NFL. There's a lot of hype around him, and when a player has that much pressure on them, then especially going to the Jags or the Jets.
Are the Jags going to take a QB?
That's an interesting thought. I was thinking, I mean, Gardner Minshew's good, right? He's okay. He's startable. Would I keep rolling with him? Probably not. I would probably still take a QB, but I would consider trading back in the first round, taking like an O lineman or maybe a defensive player, maybe one of those top ranked guys, and then slide into the second round and try to grab one of the better QBs in the draft in the second.
Okay. Say you have like a middle of the road QB. We'll even say top 10. No, middle of the road. Say the Texans have the first pick in the draft. Are they taking a QB? Are they going on from Watson? I mean,
no.
Like how valuable, I guess, is that generational talent, or I don't know, franchise quarterback?
Watson's fine. I don't think he's as good as some people will tell you he is, but
like Danny Dimes or Drew Lock. I mean, would they?
If the Giants had the first overall pick.
Yeah.
No, I think it's too early to jump from Daniel Jones right now. Same thing with Drew Lock.
Yeah, just to give some people some perspective on.
Right. No, I think whoever ends up with the first overall pick or whoever trades for the first overall pick, because if the Jags decide to not take a QB, they should trade away that pick. It doesn't make sense to draft a O-line or someone else, a non-QB with the first overall pick, because Trevor Lawrence is the highest ranked player in this draft. So I would say if the Jags are looking to trade back, whatever team trades into that first spot needs to be super quarterback needy. Like, there has to be no one that they can throw into that starting role. And that could be the Jags.
Yeah.
Because Minshew's not phenomenal. But I would say the Jets kind of fall into that. Honestly, there's not that many other teams I can name where it's like, you need help at QB big time, you know? I guess the Broncos kind of. You know, Drew Lock is not the most consistent player. But yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Anything else to throw into this topic right here?
No, just the Jets and Rams looked fairly similar. So it was, similar time of possession, passing yards, rushing yards, so on and so forth. So pretty even game.
It was a close game, 23-20.
Yep.
I do want to point out the Jags' remaining schedule is the Bears and the Colts. So even though as a Chicago fan I see this as a kind of a trap game, I would say don't count the Jags out. They went toe-to-toe with the Packers for a while, and they almost pulled out a win. So logically, the Bears and the Colts should beat them, so they should end as a one-win team, which is a shame for their fans because that one win happened in Week 1. So they are on a, what are they on, a 14-game losing streak?
Yeah, it's rough.
15-game losing streak? What week are we in? Yeah, no, that's too bad. Okay, we have a big man shout-out.
Are you a big man? Huh? I'm talking to you.
Woo!
This goes to Ravens O-lineman Tyree Phillips, who picked up a Lamar Jackson fumble, and he carried it 13 yards for a first down. Very funny play. He throws a shoulder on a defender. This was his chance, you know. He's been waiting for that moment all his life.
Dude, he got yards,
Bum. Okay, so we're going to jump into our final topic of this podcast. We've got potential wildcard teams. We are nearing the NFL playoffs. We got 2 weeks left. And just want to kind of take a look at what's going on. There are a couple teams that I'm going to list off that are they have potential to make the wild card spot, and one of each from each conference will not be making it into the playoffs because there are 3 wild card slots. So, and 2 of them are already, or one of them is already filled per conference. So one of these teams we have to decide will not be making it. So for the AFC, we've got the 10-4 Colts, the 9-5 Dolphins, and the 9-5 Ravens. Ryan, if it were going to happen in the next 2 weeks, based off of remaining schedule, everything else, who do you think would be eliminated from playoff contention?
Did you say the Browns in there as well?
I have the Browns already making it. I think the Browns are probably, because they beat the Colts, did they not?
Okay.
I think they did. Yeah, I think the Browns are already in.
So I think the Ravens have the Giants and the Bengals, which are 2 games that I feel they can win. They have pretty decent matchups against both. The Dolphins, I'm not so sure with the Raiders and the Bills. Just looking at it right now, I think the Dolphins probably have the hardest schedule of those top 4 teams. So I think the Dolphins will probably win 1, lose 1, and that will not be enough to get them there. So,
all right. I 100% agree. I feel like the Dolphins are the weakest team, and they have the strongest schedule. Even though the Colts do have to play Pittsburgh, but I still feel like the Colts, they have to play the Jags after Pittsburgh. So I think the Dolphins are most likely going to be out, which is a shame because of those 3 teams, I'm pulling for the Dolphins the most. I would love to see the Dolphins make it to the playoffs, especially after how bad they were last year. But you know, take what comes your way, and maybe they can pull out a win against the Raiders and the Bills. I guess they might have to win out. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anything else you want to throw into the AFC?
Just the long shot. Las Vegas Raiders, if they win out and other teams take some key losses, they could be in the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Raiders are surprisingly good. They beat the Chiefs. Only team to beat the Chiefs.
Who knows?
It is one of those who knows type situations. Okay, NFC. We've got the 9-5 Bucks, the 8-6 Cards, and the 7-7 Bears.
Okay.
Right. So the one wild card spot that I say is already spoken for belongs to who is that?
The Rams?
Yes. I think the Rams or Seattle is going to take that spot. Seattle currently, where we sit right now, is leading the division, but I think one of those teams has already secured a wild card spot.
I mean, I'm not so sure about that.
Really?
For the Rams. Just because, well, I think the Rams, Bucks, and Cardinals will probably be the wild card. But the Rams just lost to the Jets. And
They play the Seahawks and the Cardinals.
I mean, the Seahawks don't have a good defense, but they can score points. Cardinals are up and down. I mean, anything could happen.
Maybe they could fall out.
But of the guys left, I mean, maybe the Cardinals, but the Niners just lost Nick Mullins and Bethardson, which could be good, could be bad. We'll see. And then the Bears might have a tough. Well, they play the Jags and then the Packers. So I could see the Rams losing against the Seahawks and then losing against the Cardinals, and then maybe the Bears win against the Packers.
I wish.
So
I hope. I will say the Rams. I'll clarify. The reason I had the Rams in the already clinched area is because they beat the Bucks head-to-head, and they beat the Bears head-to-head, and I'm not totally sure what they've done against the Cardinals. But I mean, yeah, they could lose out on the year, and they could fall out of playoff contention like that.
That's the. I mean, if two teams have the same record, head-to-head.
It goes to head-to-head is the first tiebreaker.
I thought it was division.
No, division is number 2 for tiebreaking.
Learn something new every day.
Right. Cards. The Cardinals is it's an interesting one. We could see what happens with them. I mean,
so Rams are probably in then.
right. Cardinals play the Niners, and then they play the Rams. It's if they beat the Rams, and they beat the 49ers, and the Rams lose out, they could take the Rams spot. So that's something to look at. Right now, if I had to pick a team that's going to fall out of this contention, I'm going to say it's the Bears. Obviously, it hurts for me to say that because I am a Bears fan. But sitting at 7-7, they're the only team on this list that's sitting right at 500, and they still have to play the Packers. So they would have to win out, and that's difficult when they play the Packers. They're playing the Packers at home, like at Soldier Field.
I mean, maybe the Packers will sit everyone out. I mean, who knows?
I mean, it would be wise for them to do that, but it's a rivalry game. I feel like they're gonna still go at it as hard as they can. So, yeah, it'll be I'm assuming it'll be a rough week 17. Although my dreams could be shattered right now if the Jags pull out an upset against the Bears, which I'm not gonna rule that out either. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's what I got. I've got Bears getting eliminated, and I have the Dolphins getting eliminated.
Yeah, I don't want to say you're wrong, but
yeah, you got to look at it from a logical standpoint. You got anything else you want to throw into this topic or this coming week in general?
Yeah. So, Rovers, the Vikings still have a shot to make.
Are you sure?
The Vikings still have a shot to make.
Best they can do is 8-8.
Cardinals will need to lose those next two games, and I think they have the same conference record then, and then Vikings would have a better division record, I believe.
Hang on, I will fact check.
Sweet.
Vikings did beat the Cardinals head-to-head.
This year? I didn't see...
Or wait, no, that wasn't this year. Oh, maybe they...
Yeah, I don't think they played this year.
Oh, okay.
So
the Bears played the Rams, so I assumed that they were playing the NFC West, but that was actually their wild game. So, never mind. Head-to-head will not matter in that scenario.
So yeah, there's a chance. Will it happen? I don't think so.
No, it's not gonna happen. Rovers, come on.
But Rovers, you can hold on to some hope that it could happen. I mean, I'm holding on as a Bears fan that Cardinals lose twice and the Bears get in, so yeah, could happen.
We'll pay attention to it. If the Bucks lose out, the Bears beat them head to head.
Hey,
So just saying, I don't see the Bucks losing out because has Brady ever missed the playoffs? And they play the Lions and the Falcons, so that's easiest schedule in the NFC right now.
yeah.
In this list of contenders.
Yep, but Bears fans and Vikings fans will be united in their effort for cheering against the Cardinals. So,
Right. That's what we're going to be looking at. So, yep. Anything else on this coming week in general? Any news or matchups or anything you want to go over?
yeah, me and Scott, fantasy championship for the Couch League.
Scott is going to destroy you.
Scott is gonna completely annihilate me, but hey, we made it there. We're gonna make some decisions and hopefully come out with a Vic. You know, we're still gonna try. But yeah, Scott's team looks a whole lot better than mine right now after Michael Thomas and Will Fuller before, but Cam Akers is out too.
Right
so.
now, he is projected to lose, but he doesn't have a defense in right now.
Yeah.
He picked up Chicago's.
Yeah, that'll probably do all right for him.
The Bears versus the Jags, I would hope so.
Dude, he dropped $18 on Chicago.
Because you've got the fab, so once you get into the playoffs, you take your remaining fab and you spend all of it. That's the rule I abide by. Hold on to some fab until you get into the playoffs, and then spend all of it when you need to.
Well,
Ryan disagrees with that.
No. I agree you need some fab for the playoffs. I disagree that you need half of your fab for the playoffs.
I had $40 going into the playoffs.
I think that's too much.
I lost Myles Gaskin and Rojo, so I had to grab a running back. I grabbed Jeff Wilson for a $26 bid, because I could. It ensures that no one else is going to get your guy.
Yeah, but you could use that during the year for the same reason.
And pick up who?
I don't know. Jeff Wilson during the season, you know?
I didn't need Jeff. The only reason I grabbed Jeff Wilson that week is because Raheem Mostert was questionable.
Yeah, but...
And now he is on IR, by the way.
Okay, you want to talk about this? Mike Davis, you put in an $11 bid on him, and somehow you got him. You should have put in a $30 bid on him for the potential that he had. So...
I don't know. I got him for the 11.
Things worked out.
I put in about 8 bids for 8 different running backs that week when McCaffrey went down. So I was going to walk out with somebody. Mike Davis was the number 2 back I was looking at. Number 1, I put a $26 bid on Freeman. Number 2 was 11 on Mike Davis. Number 3 was 6 on Jerick McKinnon. I think 5 on Joshua Kelly. I'm just saying, I put in a ton of different bids.
No, nobody cares anymore.
Just saying.
But yeah, playoffs, you should have some fab just in case. Bottom line.
Aha, you're wrong.
What?
You are wrong.
We basically have the same viewpoint. It's
you gave me crap about leaving so much fab in the bank.
The amount.
Caleb had like $81 worth of fab going into the playoffs.
Me and Scott, fantasy championship. Everyone else look to get top score because you will still get a payout. So.
All hail King Scott. Aha.
Hey.
Just a prediction.
It's hurtful, man. It's hurtful.
We'll see what happens. All right. Thanks, Couch League, for listening to this. We are going to keep doing podcasts here and there throughout the NFL playoffs. So in case you want to hear the ramblings of me and Ryan for the next couple weeks, we'll still be doing this. So thanks for tuning in and listening.
Yep. See you guys.